Through the fear and the doubt and the hate that I will make you feel, I want you to remember the love I have for you.
Hi friends, welcome back to Toy Lips. Today we are taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four Retro Carded Wave with the Human Torch and Psycho Man, the last of the figures I'm going to do from this wave. I thought they'd be a fun pairing. They contrast nicely and you get a hero and villain. Right here on the back, you get this nice breakdown of the figure, a little bit of a read-up, and the rest of the figures from the wave. Feel free to look up and enjoy those right here on this very channel.
Whoops! Now, you're coming home with the cream flame.
All right, kicking this off with the Fantastic Four's own Human Torch, Johnny Storm. We have seen the version of this character before. He's going to be on the same body, but completely powered on, flamed on, if you will. And this is one of those characters, this plastic on this thing makes you hungry for it. This head sculpt looks great, but it does look to be just a reuse of the old Walgreens exclusive head sculpt. It's just the way that it's painted this time. This is fantastic. And this body is from the last iteration, from the Super Scroll Wave, that slightly more modern take versus the original, the Walgreens one that was on the Bucky cap. It's a lot nicer in that regard. And again, the choice of plastic, this thing looks really good. Reminds me of some kind of like Nintendo 64 controller. All of these painted sort of grill marks all over our friend here. And no logo. I don't need to be jawing on and on about where you can put this Human Torch. You know damn well where you can stick him. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Body parts that we've seen before, though, these limbs are like the lower limbs and hands are reused from the Walgreens one with the flame sculpted on there. And they've painted those a little bit extra. You have sort of conflicting styles, the more opaque flames and the transparent body. So, you know, it's a risk, but I think it's paid off. It looks fairly legit. I mean, what do you do short of setting the thing on fire? I've put these effects down here, and I've just been kind of mangling them as I go. We have more of the grill marks. You can kind of see through it from certain angles and see the inner workings of the articulation. The thing looks really nice. It does. Put him up on a flight stand. Forget about it. Hello, and welcome back. And here we have, not seen in nearly 30 years in toy form, Marvel's Psycho Man. He was created back in the 60s by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and is actually microscopic, hails from the microverse, and has access to a whole host of microscopic devices. Get in a little bit closer to this guy. Look at this head sculpt, completely unique. This is not, a head that they've just repainted or whatever. Maybe it isn't, they crammed it in there and they're getting one by me. No, I don't know. This is very just, I know maybe this character probably predates it, but it seems it's like very New Gods to me. You know what I mean? This is just a single piece torso here, hard plastic, but it is very nice, very clean. Just the one color. There is some marbling. It has a nice shine. I think I like this plastic. It's a good argument for maybe not having to paint it. At least the marbling in mine isn't so bad, unless that's what this is. It's just one great big stripe of it, right? Isn't that? Never mind. That's not a center line or anything. Why would there be? No, he looks great at a distance. This color, it really sings. This sheen all around it and these little rings, all these superfluous little patterns and engravings and things like that. Show up at work, dressed in three-piece suits, smoking huge cigars. I don't know. It's a great time. This is a nice, softer overlay piece here, this skirt. We've got some sculpted work in it, and they've painted in some green. Very nice green trim all around. I have no idea what's happening with all of this piping here, but it is done very nicely in his crinkled up spacesuit thing. Designed cages for his feet. Do you have shoes? Do you have any shoes? No, I have some cages I've designed for your feet. This will be wonderful. I think the look of this thing, they have absolutely nailed it. I would love to see a collection of these more obscure Kirby-esque creations, Checking out the articulation on this flame-grilled friend. His head is up here on this ball joint. Hinge action, comes way down, kicks way back for flight poses, as would be proper. Coming on down here, he's got these nice butterfly shoulders, coming back this far, forward this far. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Ball joints, of course, they will rotate all the way around. Bicep cut. Collapsible, double jointed. Elbow only goes so far as it runs into the sculpted flame Not mad about that at all. The wrist is hinged. You can see from both sides. Same thing on the other hand. Ab crunch, come forward a good amount, back this far, and waist twist. Thighs are on a ball joint. They come out to the side a little bit, and forward this far, backward, not very much. But he does have upper thigh cut and a double jointed knee that will come all the way back. You can see the pins and the discs and the things that make all of that up. X-ray guts. Calf cut right here, and a ankle that goes forward, back, and rocks. Really solidly articulated torch. Okay, let's check out the articulation. What a freaking psycho this dude is. His head is like socketed down into the chest piece here. So it's just on a ball, you know, and so you can rotate it. You can bring it down this far, back this far, side and side. It just wobbles in there. I mean, it doesn't wobble, but you know what I mean. Pivots on this little ball. It's fine. It's great. You got ball jointed shoulders here. They'll come up this far. They will rotate all the way around. There's an upper bicep cut hidden nicely by the sculpt. This outer armored piece. Double jointed, pin visible. And you get a little past 90 even with the girth of him. You can see the wrists are hinged. They'll come in a little and back quite a bit. Going to be the same on both sides, and he just has the two hands to speak of. Down here at the waist, he does get a twist. Seems to be ratcheted. Sure makes a lot of noise and maybe pegged in there because you can lean forward this far and back a long ways. Actually, pretty bananas. So yeah, nothing wrong with that. You try to peer under this little softer piece here. It's just a ball jointed thigh there. And you can take them out about this far, and they will kick forward this far, just a little bit restricted by these soft hoops here. Back, same deal, there's some restriction. You have an upper thigh cut that will rotate outside of this. You see they've stuck these in up here, so you can twist freely within that, as well as double jointed knees that are going to bind up against all of this, so you only get about this far. But you do get these nice fat feet here that will rock down this far and back this much, and rocker. Yes. Really solid. Lot going on with those legs, for sure. For accessories, he's doing pretty good. He comes with the little flame coils and the back piece and a couple of more toned down fists. These soft, gooey parts, they just sort of clip to him wherever you can get them. You could put those on the arm too. Same thing, this shoulder piece. Sculpted really nicely in this nice translucent plastic that is just a different color so that it stands out on this material. Same thing for these little units. Fists, of course, look like little fists. But edible. Butt pins. For accessories, Psycho Man only comes with his control box. That is his signature deal, so he doesn't really need much else, but you can't get more expressive with the hands, as the one hand is just this thing that's meant for that, or for this. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's what, at the side? You kind of try to downplay that a little. Maybe rock it behind his back sometimes. Limited, but unique and fitting. Little hate box. It is nicely sculpted. All this line work all through it. Really, these are just like decals or stamped on or whatever. So there's no other color of paint to the box. But it does have a ton of texture. Buttons and things simulated all over it. Super cool little piece. So for height, Human Torch is about 6 3/4 of an inch to the tippy top of that flame. And the Psycho Man stands at 6 1/2. For comparison, here is Sister Susan and Rival Reed. And rounding out the team, we have the Pulse exclusive Powered Down Johnny. They are on the same buck, looking sharp. And the ever-loving Blue-Eyed Thing. And then we have the other powered on version of Johnny, the 2016 Walgreens exclusive. They share the same head, but old dude's got the old Bucky Cap body. Plus the other villain from the wave, Herbert Wyndham, the High Evolutionary. Knocking him out of the way, these are the new hotness, man. These guys look great. Fresh from their own piping hot review, we have Despair and Sleepwalker. I believe Despair and Johnny share the same body. Looking solid. Well, the brand new Sleepwalker shares the same body as the 2016 Johnny. There's a fun fact. For some modern MCU mingling, we have the hot new Spider-Man and Zemo. Messing with different scales, we have the Hasbro Marvel Universe powered on Human Torch. I could say Flame Dawn. It goes through my head every time, but doesn't that sound weird? Anyway, we also have the 4-inch Fortnite Agent Peely from Jazzwares. And how about we bump it up to 1/10 scale for some NECA foot soldiers from the Ninja Turtle cartoon and movie series, respectively. Alright, I'll quit screwing around. Here we are with the Marvel Legends, mostly a thing of the past, Black Costume Spider-Man, and the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee, mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool.
Dear boy, could you light this?
So when it comes right down to it, I think these are a couple of standout figures in general and amongst this wave. They both look incredibly unique. The paint is nice and clean, and it is a great use of translucent plastic. This is a wave that gives me a lot of versions of characters that I wanted, plus a couple of brand new ones. I know it's a little disappointing that the main characters, the bulk of the wave, are repainted and maybe even a little cheaply, but this is still, you get the main Fantastic Four in those 80s and 90s era costumes that everybody loves, plus a 60s style villain Psycho Man, a powered on version of Johnny that'll fit anywhere, even as a different character. Overall, I'm happy with this wave, and I'm really happy with these two characters in particular. Psycho Man is super unique, executed really well, super light on accessories, but he doesn't need much other than what he's got. I would give him a 4.5. I love to see them take risks and churn out characters like this that aren't just a repaint like the other Johnny over here, who it's essentially just this body with a couple of sculpted effects. That head actually is from the previous powered on version of the character that's like 6 years old now. I mean, that's a little disappointing, but it's what you do with the reuse, and I think he looks fantastic. Practically perfectly depicts this version of the character. It's a toss-up. They could try that flat look like they did in the MU days, and that hits a certain note. But this calls back to that, and it looks maybe like a more realistic representation of what that would be. I hate the connotations of that, make it seem like, black X-Men jumpsuits. But I don't mean that. It's just, it's a cool use of the translucent orange plastic. As always, I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You'll see more crazy nonsense like this all the time. I love this hobby. I love these toys, and I love all you people that I'm meeting. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
I got fingers on my lips. Toys that I'm touching, I don't want to put them down. Instead, I want to talk about them. Yes, fresh. Smell the plastic that I crave. I want to shop. I can't be having Bruce Banner. I'm Dr. Rubber Band on Bruce Jenner. And you can call me after dinner. We can talk comic books, but we're here to talk toys. Be proud, make noise.